What working on site taught me about marketing builders. You probably don't care about getting more views, but you definitely care about getting more jobs. Most builders lose jobs because homeowners don't trust them enough to pick up the phone. And today I'm going to show you exactly why that happens and what you can do about it. But before I get into this, let me just tell you why I'm qualified to even talk about this. So I actually didn't start in marketing. After high school, I studied construction. I worked on site, I worked in the industry as well. My father is a carpenter, so I've been around builders my whole life. And this is why when I started my firm, I chose to work with builders and contractors specifically. So this background changed everything how I approach marketing for construction businesses. So when a homeowner is spending money on a building project, it's not like buying a book, or it's not like stopping for a candy at a gas station. They are letting strangers build their home, or they are letting strangers into their home. They're spending tens of thousands of pounds. They could be living through months of disruption. So this is not a small decision. This is one of the biggest financial decisions that they can make. And for decades, the way builders handle this problem is of course referrals. When someone watches for you, they suddenly aren't scared anymore. Because someone they trusts you already. That's why referrals work so well for so long. Not because of quality, not because of price, because of the transferred trust. But here is the problem. Referrals are just one source of leads, one source of income. They're unpredictable, you can't scale them. When work dries up, you can't turn referrals on. And as the world turns more and more online, homeowners will certainly look you up. Research says that 8 out of 10 people look up a company online before hiring them. So what do you probably do online? You probably post your finished projects with no caption or a few hashtags, or you just don't post at all because you don't know what to say. And I totally understand it. You're busy, you're running jobs, you're managing subcontractors, you're dealing with clients, you're ordering materials. This thing didn't arrive, that guy didn't come to work today. I know how hectic it is. So this is why marketing becomes the last thing on your to-do list. It's especially not something you want to deal with when you finally get home and you get to spend some time with your wife and kids. But this silence costs you money. Because every time you didn't build enough trust with your page, every time your online presence didn't convince someone to hire you, they are hiring someone else. Someone who's louder, someone who's better at this game, someone who already hired someone like me. So you can't just ignore this. We need to build trust so your page becomes like referrals. So what does trust building content look like for builders? I broke it down to 3 things. Firstly, you have to show the process and not just the result. You can show the problem you found and you fixed on site. This builds trust, this makes you an authority, and this screams that you guys are professionals. Secondly, you have to show the person behind the business, you have to show yourself, at least in a meet the team post. That is not too big of a commitment, and I see it works really well. So this doesn't mean that you need to be a content creator, you don't have to dance on social media. It just means that it's good if you occasionally show your face. That human element will separate you from your competitors, trust me on this. And the third and most important thing is let your past clients do the talking. Video testimonial from a previous client worth more than 50 other project photos. It builds more trust than anything you can say about yourself. Because it's the same thing as a referral, only better. Because a referral is just a one-on-one conversation, but in this case we show it to hundreds and thousands of people. So the message that you guys are the best builders are reaching more people now than ever before. So these 3 things together is what I call trust content. And in my experience working with builders, this is the most underused thing. And that is the problem. When I was working in construction, nobody was talking about marketing. Of course, it was just a couple of years ago, but builders got work through reputation. And of course, it still works, but it's not enough anymore. So the builders who are fully booked, who can choose their clients and who don't have to drop their price to win jobs, they have figured out how to build insane levels of trust with their content. This is actually the shift that we help with. So if you're a builder and you're not sure where to start with your content, I can help you. Just book a meeting with me in the description. Feel free to choose the time that fits you the best, and I promise I'll give you as much value as I can regarding how to turn your social media page into something that brings in consistent inquiries.